3 words, 8 letters. I love you. Simple, right? Except in Japan, saying I love you is so rare that many couples go their entire lives without saying it directly. In Korea, people say I love you by asking if you've eaten. In the Netherlands, love looks like telling you the brutal truth because they respect you too much to lie. Love is the most universal human experience on Earth, but how we express it, without words, is completely different depending on where you grew up. And understanding these differences might be the most important cultural lesson of all. Let's travel the world through love. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might see love being expressed around you in ways you've been completely missing. You've probably heard of Dr. Gary Chapman's 5 love languages: words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Great framework. But here's what Chapman didn't fully account for. Culture determines which of these love languages is acceptable to express and how. In some cultures, saying I love you verbally is incredibly common. In others, it's almost never said, but love is expressed constantly through action. Understanding this could save relationships and bridge enormous cultural misunderstandings. Let's start in Japan. There is a Japanese phrase, kokuhaku, a romantic confession. It's a big deal. It happens maybe once at the beginning of a relationship in a specific cultural moment we explored in our Valentine's Day video. After that initial confession, Japanese couples rarely say I love you again. It's not because love fades, it's because in Japanese culture, love is demonstrated through consistent daily actions. It's a completely different, and some would argue, more sustainable model of love. There's a concept called amaeru, a kind of loving dependence, where you allow someone to take care of you and you intuitively care for them. A Japanese partner who notices you're cold before you say so and hands you a sweater, that's I love you. A partner who remembers your coffee order perfectly after years, that's I love you. The love is in the attention. Moving to South Korea, where one of the most common expressions of love is a question. 밥 먹었어? Have you eaten? This question carries enormous emotional weight in Korean culture. It's not literally just about food. It's saying, I'm thinking about you. I care if you're okay. You are in my thoughts. The historical context matters. Korea experienced significant food scarcity in living memory. Asking if someone has eaten was asking if they were surviving, if they were okay. This extends to cooking. Korean parents, especially mothers, rarely say I love you in the Western sense, but they cook for their families daily for hours with enormous care. The cooking is the declaration. The question, have you eaten, is the love letter. Every bowl of food prepared is the sentence, you matter to me. Moving to Italy and the broader Mediterranean world, where love is expressed through something that might seem surprising until you think about it: feeding people. In Italy, when your Italian grandmother, your nonna, insists you eat more even when you're clearly full, when she looks slightly wounded that you've only had 2 helpings, that is not pushiness. That is love expressed through abundance. The more she feeds you, the more she loves you. The food is the emotion. In many West African cultures, particularly across Ghana, Nigeria, and Senegal, love is expressed primarily through presence, not texts, not calls, being physically there. There's a philosophy across many African cultures called Ubuntu. I am because we are. Your existence is defined by your connection to others. So when someone you love is struggling, you don't send a text. You show up with food, with your physical presence, with your body saying, I am here, you are not alone. This practice of sitting, just being physically present with someone, requires no words. An elder in the community who has many people visiting them daily is considered deeply loved and respected. Isolation, in contrast, signals something has gone wrong relationally. Your presence is your love letter. Every hour you give is a paragraph.
Now for the one that surprises everyone the most, the Netherlands, where love is expressed through radical, sometimes uncomfortable directness. In Dutch culture, being honest with someone, even when it's uncomfortable, is a profound act of respect and love. If your Dutch friend tells you that your business idea has a fatal flaw, or that outfit doesn't work, or that your relationship is not healthy, they're not being rude. They're saying, I respect you too much to let you walk into something bad. I care about your actual well-being, not just your feelings right now. In India, love is often expressed through an ancient concept intertwined with duty. The idea that truly loving someone means sacrificing for them, sometimes silently, sometimes for decades. In many Indian families, a parent who works exhausting hours for decades to fund a child's education never says, I love you once, but that sacrifice is a love declaration that dwarfs any sentence. There's also the concept of Seva, selfless service, where caring for someone's needs, even at personal cost, is the highest form of love expression. In many indigenous cultures across the Americas, Australia, and Africa, love is expressed through something that most modern people have lost connection with entirely: the land itself. In many First Nations, Aboriginal, and Indigenous communities, the decision to protect land, to refuse development, to maintain ceremony, to teach children to read the forest, is an act of love for future generations not yet born. It's a love letter written to people you will never meet, encoded in the preservation of the earth itself. Finally, a brief but important stop: Russia and Eastern Europe, where the absence of performance is itself the love expression. Here's what all of these incredibly different expressions have in common. They all require you to pay attention to someone other than yourself. Whether it's noticing someone needs an umbrella in Japan, showing up at a door in Ghana, preparing food for hours in Korea, or protecting land for unborn generations in indigenous cultures, love is fundamentally about directing your consciousness towards someone else.
Every single culture on Earth, despite expressing love completely differently on the surface, is doing the same fundamental thing. They're taking their most precious resource, time, attention, energy, presence, and directing it towards someone else. The currency is different. The declaration is the same. This matters enormously for understanding the people in your life. The parent who never said, I love you, but worked 3 jobs for your education. The friend who showed up at your door when things got bad instead of texting. The partner who remembers every small thing you've mentioned. You might have been surrounded by love this entire time and simply didn't have the cultural vocabulary to read it. Here's my question for you. How does the most important person in your life show love without words? Let me know in the comments, and if this video made you think of someone who loves you in a language you hadn't recognized before, maybe tell them, in whatever language feels right. And if exploring cultural deep dives like this speaks your language, subscribe to CurioTrads. We're building a library of human understanding, one culture at a time.